Sports. On the air since 1951. This is The Legend. 105.3, 95.3, WDXE.
Hey, that's us, and it's time for the Quick Mart Hour with Keith and Kevin.
What about it?
And the evil genius Keith is here,
legend.
and his sidekick,
I
partner in crime.
You got a whole lot more. It was just luck of the draw on the cards last week, or you think he was like, well, no, you got to see what card you.
You know, I went home. Does two higher pair beat two lower pair? I guess it does, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, I'm just saying.
And I also thought about this. I said, did Jeff have a flush and didn't see it or something? Because you had a lot of cards over there.
He had a bunch of
I
cards.
never had
He
anything.
got a bunch of answers.
I never had anything that really mattered except for the two pair.
Wow.
So, and also what messes you up, you can only have 6 cards. You have to start discarding. So you may discard
Yeah, you
something.
may have discarded a flush.
I actually was serious though that is a very good game.
I enjoyed that game.
I'm saying what I'm saying to you is that if with a little work and creativity some more, you could make a sure enough board game out of that.
Well, it needs a lot of honing and refinement. So if somebody wants to do that, you can cut me in on a royalty or something. I'll be happy with that.
And I'll say this too: a royal flush would go right along with some of our other conversations.
Exactly.
And I want to tell you this: you have begun to occupy space in my brain.
Oh, I have. How is
Yes,
that?
because I went on a little mini vacation.
Okay.
As a lot of you folks know, you may not know, but we left Saturday morning and went to Atlanta and took in a couple of ball games down there with the Braves.
Wow.
Took Daniel for his 13th birthday.
Now, that is cool.
So we were on the road tripping.
Okay, so who they play? Let's talk about the game a minute.
Okay, well they played the Cleveland, what used to be
Indians?
the Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
But they're not the Indians anymore. They're the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay.
So anyway,
I didn't know that.
Did you not know that?
No, I don't watch baseball enough to know that.
Well, anyway,
And I quit watching the Braves.
Listen, they were 2 great games. Both went to extra innings.
Oh,
They
wow.
lost.
There you
The
go.
Braves lost on Saturday night, but they won Sunday,
Really?
and they had won Friday night before, so they took 2 out of 3.
Cool.
But we weren't there for the Friday night game. We left on Saturday, got there in time to get there for batting practice, and Daniel got a ball tossed to him from one of the players.
Oh, that's so
Sweet.
cool.
So we had a great time. Had a great time. But anyway, I told all that to tell
Okay.
that you have occupied space in my brain because when you're on a trip like that, you have to make bathroom stops.
That's exactly. At least 2.
So-
Yeah.
So I never, every time we would stop, Keith Durham, what did he say?
Yeah. All right. Was you looking for the things that you're subconscious of now?
It's like all these things. So you're occupying space up here. So there you go.
So where did you stop?
I don't even know. One of the places too, I don't know, but we ended up on the way back. Now we did stop at Buc-ee's on the way back.
Oh, okay. The one in Calhoun?
There's one. Yeah, it's one. It's one in between. It's on 75 between Chattanooga and
Atlanta. That's the one in Calhoun. Yeah, it's a not.
Excuse me.
Did you go to the bathroom?
Yes, absolutely.
Was that not just like
Yeah, I've
bathroom
been there
heaven?
before. I've been in the Buc-ee's before.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you'd been there
Oh,
before.
yeah. And they have attendants that just stay in there.
I take a coffee in there.
Well, I don't do that.
Just enjoy yourself in there. huh?
Anyway,
I try to do jobs, like we're on a trip. You want me to fold laundry or something while I'm in the restroom? I got to give out. I didn't give you literature earlier, but when you're out of printer paper, you can always print on regular
you
notebook.
can
Boy,
print
I
on
didn't
regular.
know that.
Hey, and it comes out pretty good. Doesn't
Yeah.
it?
The lines almost worked out, didn't it?
Almost worked out.
It's
That's pretty good.
It's like getting a check where
I could turn that in for homework, maybe.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about something. Kevin, I don't know if that's the list. We had this.
By the way, you do need to tell people who's sponsoring this hour.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So if you look right down here in the corner.
That's right.
Did I point at that? If you look.
No, right under you. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's right here.
Yes.
Hang on. I'm trying to get to.
Well,
it's way behind.
It's
no,
over
it's
there.
over.
It's over there. Don't try to look at that. It'll mess you up.
Yeah, point
Well, you
toward
almost
Kevin.
got
It's
it.
right here.
Okay.
It's backwards again. Don't look at that.
It's on the move like you are when you go to Quik Mart.
Either way, we are sponsored by Quik Mart
That's right.
Convenience Stores. This hour is graciously brought to you by Quik Mart Convenience Stores. And they are not responsible for anything we say.
They're
You know,
not.
I need to put that on there. Or do.
They do sponsor the program, do a good job of that. And by the way, they do a good job at the stores.
Absolutely.
All those stores, when
Yeah.
I stop, they're always kind and nice to me.
Absolutely.
And even when I tell them to put it on Keith Durham's tab, they're-
They're like, who's he?
who is he?
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. But I was in a Quik Mart this morning. And I went in Quik Mart this morning, Quik Mart number 30. And guess what I saw over there? They got a new line of gummy stuff. And they had a gummy makeup set. And they got gummy hamburgers. And they got
What?
and they got gummy Chinese noodles.
The gummy world
I'm
is.
telling you,
It's blowing up. The gummy world's blowing up.
Anyway.
So,
gummy
Anyway.
makeup.
yeah, I almost
So
got
do
me
you
a
like-
gummy makeup set.
I mean, like
can
you
get-
eat it or do you put it on your face?
No, it's
can
gummy.
get- you
You
can-
eat it.
Oh, okay.
You can get gummy vitamins.
Yeah.
Well, I got them.
Do you?
Yeah. The gummy vitamins.
Well, I've never. I like gummy. I like the peach rings.
Peach ring.
Yeah. So there's
Ooh.
several things at Quik Mart that I love. Let me tell you my favorite things at Quik Mart. It is the gummy peach rings. They're really good. I like
gosh.
the cinnamon toast crunch bugles. Man, those things are unbelievable.
Cinnamon
this
Toast
one-
Crunch
I'm trying to get y'all worked up so you can.
Apparently, yeah, he done figured out you left
You know,
this
look,
candy
you
bar.
left candy bars in here.
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
that's a Reese's Take 5. Those are readily available at Quik Mart. In fact, the Reese's has
I
its
think
own
he is
section.
guilty. I kind of had doubts when he was accusing us of this, but
No, I didn't bring that in because it would have never made it here.
yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't admit to it either.
So how are you guys doing on your diets? I want to hear that
don't know.
first.
We ain't weighed
Let's
yet.
talk about that first.
Well, I can tell you that this week's not going to be good for me.
Really?
The vacation, I mean,
Oh,
the
okay,
little
yeah.
mini vacation we took, I blew it. I've been trying to steer back in the road since then.
Well, you got to do that. You know, when you go to a ballpark, you got to get one of those ballpark dogs.
Oh,
There's
Lord, I
everything
did
on
too.
it. Exactly. Oh, me. Was y'all on home side or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, well, let me say that. We were in right field. They have a section there called the clubhouse.
Yeah.
No, the what is it called?
I don't know.
Chop house. It's the chop house section in right field, and we were right down on the fence.
Okay.
And
That's good foul,
it was
foul
great.
territory.
Yeah, it was great seats. And no, we weren't in foul territory. We were in right field, right on the fence, right down there.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, and then on Sunday we were on the third baseline,
Okay.
up a couple of levels, and it was great seats there too. But it was hot Sunday. I will say
yeah.
that it was kind of warm. We had to go in, cool off, and come back out. Went into extra innings, and it was very exciting at the end.
So one of the things about that stadium down there and the surroundings is there isn't that a cashless society?
It is.
So
There's. I mean, you can't
can't
buy
pay cash
anything
for
with
anything.
cash.
No.
No, it's a card only. That's it.
I mean, even the guy, not that I partook, but the guy walking down the aisle selling beer takes cards. You know, he doesn't take
yeah, it's
cash.
cards for
Everything
everything.
Cards.
Yeah.
A lot of your venues is like that. Now. Even Nashville's like that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool because I'm a card carrying guy. And
Yeah, well,
so
It's
Just one of
harder
those
harder
things.
for them to mug you and get your card, or you got cash. They see
Yeah.
you flashing cash.
yeah.
I would do it again. Probably
yeah.
be a while. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it.
Daniel, enjoy it.
Yes,
That's what matters.
He was on fire. It was pretty awesome.
So I'll tell you guys, if I didn't lose any weight this week, I'm quitting because I really tried this week.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well,
And,
I've got one foot in the grave this week.
So you wouldn't believe the girls at work had a potluck this week, and then on top of that, they made a peach cobbler, a homemade peach cobbler.
Oh,
And
Tis the season.
you know, when you're in our office, you can't get away from the smell of the kitchen. And man, they had roasted pork loin back there.
You know,
everything.
Jeff's paying them women to do that stuff.
Are you,
Cook all
Jeff?
that-
Are
yeah,
you?
he's talking about you.
listen,
but
if
look
I was going to do that, I'd be there.
And then they had some cakes come in one day, and some of the. I mean,
And you resisted.
I did.
They're good for you.
And I resisted the temptation. They all was like, "Oh, this is so good, you should try it." I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
It hurts so
Well,
bad.
that was one of your rules. You could try stuff.
Yeah, but I was trying to be good this week.
Oh, you
Well,
you were
yeah.
really disciplined. This
well,
week.
the reason is I've got there's some competition here.
You know
Well,
it,
here's the
right?
thing.
Hey.
Honestly, it ain't gonna be a good week for me. I probably gained
That's
since
okay.
last week, but I will say this: it could have been much worse. I did restrain myself.
Did you? That's
it
good.
could have been much worse, but because there was lots of things I went. Well, I better not. That's just a bit too. But I was thinking about it.
But you had to walk around a lot to
Yeah.
even get to the stadium.
Yeah, we
right?
walked everywhere we went, just about.
Yeah. Did you stay in a hotel close or? Did,
Yeah, we
okay.
stayed close enough to walk, so we walked to
Good.
the stadium and walked back. I didn't really have to get in the car till we left again,
Oh, that's nice.
so it was good.
That's pretty good.
We did go out to one place. We went somewhere one evening, but it was close by, but not too close. We had to drive there, but
Yeah.
but we wouldn't have had to. There's places there all over, so
Right.
it was pretty neat.
Kevin, how was your week? Did you say you did pretty good? You think, right?
I'm hoping I did. I try. I'm not. I try a little bit harder this week to not eat a lot of bad
Well,
stuff.
let's get it over with.
Let's get it over with.
Let's get it over
Kevin, you
with.
got to go first
Kevin's
this time. You've
first.
never been first, have you?
I've been first every time.
Yeah, oh, has
First
he?
I don't know.
I thought I was last week.
I don't know. It's got pretty legs though.
Thank you. $252.
252. So wow, you give us a cumulative total on that. You started out 256, right?
Right. Yes, I did.
And so
I lost 1 pound last week, and from there I lost 3 more pounds.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it's getting summertime. Are you guys sweating
You're
like
doing
hogs
good.
out there
I'm
yet?
happy. I'm happy for you. Give
Good
me
job.
Well, thank
a
you.
golf
Thank
clap.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to go second or want to go last?
I don't care.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. It ain't gonna be good. I'm telling you.
It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be good.
I'm telling you.
You're gonna be good.
The scales are gonna yell, "Get off!"
Calories taken in at the ball game,
They don't count.
they sort of have a way of disappearing.
Well, you do all that walking.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do. Listen. It's not gonna be good. It ain't gonna be.
Don't
good.
even think of like that.
It ain't gonna be good. I'm telling you.
Wow,
324.2.
that's good.
Hey, that is good.
So you've lost 6 pounds in 2 weeks.
324.2.
Yeah.
Hobbs, I'm relieved.
I may get back on your plan.
Do a lot of walking. Go to the ballpark.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Here we go. You was 242.6 last week.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, let's
He's
see
on the
what we're waiting
scales.
here. Let's see, 241 even.
241.
So I have lost 5.6 pounds total. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I started off at 246.6, right?
246 even.
246 even. Okay, so I've lost 5 pounds.
We're kind of neck and neck,
We're neck and neck.
just about. Because I started at 330. I'm at 224.2.
That's
So-
good. Hey, Willard, we have a chance. I'm playing for Willard. Who are you playing for?
Oh my
Sam
gosh.
McFall.
And who are you playing for, Jim?
I'm playing for. Gosh. Who am I playing for?
I didn't write everybody's
I've
name. I
got
just wrote
him.
mine down.
I'm playing. He knows who he is. I've got him written down. You know, I've got this. I'm beginning to worry about myself a little bit.
Hey,
Names fly off. I can even see his face right now.
yeah. His name's Randy, ain't it?
Randy. Yeah, Randy Weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Randy, but it happens to me, buddy. I went home the other night, and I like to not remember Teresa.
Oh, me.
She smack you, bring you back.
Let me tell you something, and that haunts me because I have to speak at a funeral today. I don't know if you ever spoke at a funeral or wedding.
Yes.
But the whole deal, you think, well, what am I going to say? And you try to go.
You get the name wrong.
And if you get, and I've known this sweet lady for most of my life.
Yeah.
And you worry about things like that.
Yeah.
And so.
Yep. I've
Yeah.
had it happen to me.
Oh, I'm horrible with names. I really wish I still had my high school yearbook because I see people I went to school with and I'm like, if I had my high school, I could go look them up.
Yeah.
I went to look at a house yesterday with a lady that was thinking about selling her house, and it's an estate kind of deal, and I finally just said, ma'am, I know that I know you and have seen you, and I said, help me. I said, where am I remembering you from? And she said, well, a while back we went to your church, and so I'd seen her at church.
Okay.
But it'd been a while,
Oh, okay.
so I was like, see,
You knew it.
I remember faces,
Yeah.
really do.
Well, see, I see people all the time. I'm the same way. And when I went to my last high school reunion, I had the honor of being able to speak there. And and I got up and I said, look, I don't know if I'm the only person that's like this, but I don't remember anybody's names. And I was just trying to be flat out honest. I remembered some of them. And I said, I don't remember anybody's names. Please wear your name tag and don't swap them.
Yeah.
And of course, there were some characters in our class that you never forget their names or anything like that. And then there was some people that you didn't even recognize. Did you ever go through that?
Yeah.
So I know you're doing an auction.
LCHS?
No, you're doing an auction for Mr. Mabry this
Yes.
weekend, right?
Yes.
Well, his son Keith is.
Yeah.
He and I graduated together.
Yeah, nice guy.
Oh, super nice guy. Well, you know, in my mind, Keith Mabry has a huge white afro.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a huge white
I
afro.
don't remember that.
And a 55 Chevy.
Yeah,
But
and a
he's-
55 Chevy
he's
and
younger
keys
than
to
me.
everything in the neighborhood. So, and there's a story behind that. I don't know, Keith, if you're listening, I'm going to tell a story on it. So we
Yeah.
went rolling yards one day,
Uh-oh.
and it was over near high school,
Yeah.
and Miss Wright lived right in front of high school.
Was she doing this during the day?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, we were smart enough to roll yards at night. And Keith was driving. And so we parked the street over, you know, so that if we had to run, we could run a street over and get in the car.
Right.
That's the way you
Yeah.
roll yards, you know. Little innocent fun. And we're over there rolling the yard, and all we hear is like a 4-barrel of a cop car. Here he comes from high school. He was parked behind high school.
Uh-oh.
And here he comes, and we take off running. And we get over to the next street over from Hoffman, whatever the next street over is, and Keith is fumbling around with the keys of that 55 Chevy, trying to find the key to it. I'm like, go, go, go. So anyway, it's one of those things. So long story short, go to my last high school reunion, and Keith is there and with his wife, Janet, and he looks like Ward Cleaver. I mean, he has his.
Really?
I mean, he's a nice looking guy. I mean, not that he wasn't nice looking before, but you know, he's a nice looking guy.
He grew up.
He grew up and combed his hair. So
Well, what did you look like in high school?
I didn't have a white afro. I didn't change drastically. I don't think.
Yeah.
I was skinny. I weighed about 160 pounds soaking wet during high school. I was
Well,
about
you kind of,
6'4".
you know, when you at this point, you kind of look like Clark Kent.
I wish I
Turned
was.
into Superman after.
Oh, me. Dun, 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 dun. I want to give a shout out to a couple people. Joe Michael, I seen him comment, and we don't look enough on the board. A lot of people comment during our
You know
show.
what? I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah. And one of the comments that we're getting, and we're going to talk to upper management about this, is that we need a new studio because when we're talking, the camera is going crazy, especially when in the moments where we're all talking to each other. So we really need to lobby for that. But Joe Michael Jones is a dear friend of mine. He and I worked together for years and years, shared an apartment together down in a little place called Long Beach, Mississippi. And Mike Jones is one of those guys that could sleep through a hurricane.
Really?
I'm telling you, he had, and Mike, I'm telling on you, but he would have a radio next to his bed that woke him up. He woke up by radio, and he didn't have it on low. He had it as loud as the radio could go, and he would literally lay there, and that thing would be blaring, and he wouldn't even move. I'm like, goodness, Mike, wake up. So and Mike, you'll remember this. It was so loud the neighbors were banging on the wall.
Oh,
like turn your radio
man,
down.
that's nice.
So, anyway, Mike, this is our birthday month, and so happy birthday. He usually calls or texts on our birthday. We share the same birthday.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, it's neat to keep in touch with folks like that. And,
Yeah.
he's last time. One of the times Mike was a security specialist, IT security specialist with General Motors. And so when I was talking to him on the phone, I said, "I'm gonna let you know I'm just on your edge firewall right now." And he like hangs up the phone. It's like, you can't do stuff like that. So anyway, oh my goodness. So we got a few things to talk about today. Let's talk about the most successful people you know. Kevin, we'll start with you. Who's the most successful person you know, or somebody that you aspire to be, or who do you consider to be successful? And because we're going to talk about how to be successful today You guys want to talk about that for a few minutes? How to be successful?
How to be successful?
It all depends on how you define success,
Yeah.
too, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, so you guys want to get into that first? How do you define success?
No, I mean, I kind of know where you're headed because I have this very same stuff that you handed out here.
Yeah, I had it a few
You
weeks
had
ago,
it a few weeks ago,
but
and
we never
kept
went through it.
And I kept it.
Okay.
Because I was impressed with it.
Yeah.
And I know we'll get into it, but gosh, he asked you first.
Hey, well, I don't know. I mean, money wise and stuff. I don't. It'd be you.
No. You can't.
I can't
say
do that. I can't. I don't.
I'll give you an example. I think Elon Musk is a successful guy.
Yeah.
I think he could care less if he had a nickel. I just get that impression. You know, you're talking about one of the richest men in the world.
Well, you know, when you're rich like that, it's easier to
I guess easier to relax.
yeah. I ain't worried about, if I make my bills this week or whatever.
But you think about the endeavors that he does, and like the Tesla car or the rockets that he's got going up, and not just going up, but coming down to see a ship out in the middle of the ocean and a rocket come back down and land on the ship so you can reuse it. That is a feat right there.
Yes.
And that to me, that is somebody that runs a successful company. I mean, it's something that I would love to be a part of. Yeah. And so I just see him as somebody that's super successful. And so
you're talking about successful on a well-known, maybe national scale or international scale.
No, not at all. And I'll just use this. I'm growing up. I idolized my grandfather.
Yeah.
And he was successful. And the whole time I knew him, he never had a job. He was always old enough to be retired, and they lived in government housing, but they always had a smile on their face. They always had cheer in their heart, and they always treated people good. And to me, that is success. That is life success.
Oh, I agree.
And,
I agree 100%. Yeah.
And so my mama was the same way. So my mama and grandpa were the same way. In fact, I got a story telling my grandpa. I may have told y'all this one time. So my grandpa smoked. That's back in the day when people smoked. So
people smoked,
you just sit in the living room with them and with them smoking,
Yeah.
And
all the time.
It wasn't just him. My uncles would come over, and my dad, and they're all smoking. So that, but my grandpa, he always wore a Stetson hat, and he had a chair that he sat in the living room. He'd sit over there, and he was smoking a cigarette one day, and I was talking to him. Well, he didn't respond.
Yeah.
And I said, "Grandpa, can you hear me?" And he said, "Yeah, I like deer meat." So, he really answered two questions with one answer. Number one, he can't hear me, and he loves deer meat. So
we've played it on here before, but you've heard Mel Tillis telling about him and his wife sitting on the porch, and they're retirement age now and enjoying life, sitting there on the porch together. And he said he looked across at his wife, and he said, and I forget her name, Emma, whatever she said. He said, I'm proud of you. She said, "What?" He said, I'm proud of you. She said, "What did you say?" She said, "I'm proud of you." She said, "I'm tired of you too."
Oh my goodness. So anyway, I think we all endeavor to be successful, don't we? I mean, we don't go set out to do our worst or be a failure. I don't think we set out for those things. I don't think nobody does that.
I wouldn't think so.
I think we all want to be successful.
I've had I've had the privilege of working with and meeting a lot of what I consider, or we would all consider, successful people. A lot of local business people that we would consider successful, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
I was thinking about years ago when I worked for the cable systems. I worked for the cable systems and I sold advertising, made local TV commercials and that kind of thing years ago. And that was when they first started putting local commercials on ESPN or CNN at that time, and USA Network. Within the cable system, and we would override it locally and put commercials on.
Yeah.
So I sold to car dealerships and in Fayetteville and in Pulaski and here, and of course Steve Williams Ford was big at that time. We did a lot of commercials with them.
Yep.
But I was thinking about one family over in Pulaski, Morris Harwell and Son.
Yeah.
That's been on the square over there for years and years and years. it's still there now. It's the Outlook.
Yep.
Jeff Harwell's running
Yep.
that. He's the grandson of the old man, Morris Harwell, who I actually knew and met. And then there's Morris Harwell, who's still living, by the way. And then there's Jeff. And I think about that, that's kind of a legacy of
Yeah.
success. And we got other examples around,
Absolutely.
too. The Edwards Oil Company
Oh, yeah.
is a family business and been that way. So, I mean, it depends on how you define success and that kind of thing. And as far as the business world, Johnny Fleeman, for instance.
Yeah.
Rick Lanning. They've worked hard and made a success
Still
of
works
them.
hard
Still
every day.
works hard. They still work hard and make success of themselves.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
kind of thing. So there's a lot of examples that I've been able to meet, and I think of those people, and of course, then you've got the success in just living life.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Just being happy and content.
Well, I tell you, we're going to go over a list of things that the internet says you can do these things to be successful, and
Yeah.
the things that and they'll tell you things that you need to do every morning. But I consider getting up in the morning and reading scripture, and even if you can't read but a verse,
Yeah.
and say a prayer and lift up your family and your friends and
Yep.
and your needs in life. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the keys to success. When you look back in the history of maybe Lawrence County and you think about the people that are successful, Mr. Stribling comes to mind to me.
Yeah.
And it's people that were good to other people also.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest keys to success.
Yeah, absolutely. Is realizing that it's not just you, and
Yeah.
it's about everybody else too, and being good to people.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. And by the way, the phone lines are open while
Yeah.
we're live. While we're live here this morning, if you'd like to share somebody maybe or talk about somebody that's successful, I know that Keith would enjoy that.
Yeah.
We've got, let's see.
Somebody just
Yes, the camera jumping around gives me motion sickness. There is a message up there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to stop that. It's automatic. It does it itself.
Right, yeah.
We don't have anybody that really operates the camera. It picks up on whoever's talking.
That's right.
And focuses in on that one. And sometimes it does jump quickly. So,
what I've got to do is I got to quit talking while you're talking.
yeah.
And I try to do that, but I can't.
It's difficult. It's very difficult for us to, converse like we normally do and stop and go.
Well, before we get started today on our how to be successful, I saw something on the news this morning, and you ever wanted to be a part of something? These protests that's going on, and I focused on the one out in UCLA because it was live this morning when I got up.
Yeah.
And the police were tearing down
Dismantling everything.
dismantling the fortress that they had built out there and everything like that. And a part of me wanted to be out there. And
Dismantling?
no, what I thought was, I bet if I had my trailer, I could take that plywood. Man, that was some good plywood. The police probably wouldn't say a word if you went up there and started loading up that plywood. They're like, yeah, let's get it out of here.
Got a screw gun, just taking it
Plywood
down.
is a remarkable product.
Yeah, it is.
It's a remark. I mean, it can stay off hurricanes.
Yep.
Every,
I mean, there's hardly anything that goes by during the day that plywood hasn't affected in my life. So
Well, this is true.
putting
plywood.
So anyway,
Flooring to anything, yeah.
I saw that and I thought, man, those are excellent sheets of plywood.
Very expensive these days too.
And they're expensive.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, I bet if you had a trailer, just anybody, any Joe Blow pulled up there with the trailer and just went up and says, hey, I'm going to haul these things off for you, they'd say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
And,
That's pretty good. College students being able to afford that much plywood.
Yeah, and by the way,
yeah, they couldn't get nothing to drink, though.
yeah.
That's horrible. That we won't comment on that.
They spent all their money on plywood. They couldn't afford no drinks.
All right, so the first thing you have to do if you want to be successful, and I forgot to write the website down, but we'll just say according to the internet.
According
okay?
to the internet.
According to the internet.
Interwebs.
Yes.
And successful people do these things, and I have, how many of them do I have down here? 14?
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that
Yeah.
successful people do.
And successful people do this. They focus on minutes and not hours. They focus on minutes and not hours. And it says most people default to hour and half-hour blocks. And I'll just stop right there. And I think that we're a product of society, or we're a product of what Bill Gates has turned us into because of that. All right. And the reason I say that is because if you go to plan your day and you do it on an electronic calendar somewhere, it's blocked out in 30-minute blocks. You have to physically change the number if you want it to be in minutes or 15-minute increments.
Right.
It's just easy to do it in half-hour increments and hour increments. And so I am a victim of number one, because I try to do things in blocks of time.
Yeah, when you had this earlier, we didn't do it earlier, but I kept it and I read through this, and that was one of those things I thought, I'm going to really try this. Now, it didn't last very long for me, but it's in the back of my mind of trying to do, divide my time up and really keep track of my time. And I'll have to say it's effective if you can do it.
Yeah, if you can. The second thing is they focus on only one thing at a time. They focus on only one thing at a time. Now, Kevin, you're good at that,
Yeah, to a point, but and the job that I have to make money, I usually have to multitask.
I agree with that, but I consider Kevin a successful, top of the line, top of his game mechanic. I mean, he's
absolutely.
If my car broke down, he's the guy. And I got to say, last week, Kevin, thank you for charging up the church bus air.
Oh,
it was so good. I carry the senior citizens on trips, and so we went to Bell Buckle last week. Kevin did such a good job on the air conditioner; they wanted me to turn it off. Most of the way. So, oh man,
well, that's a good thing. The problem I have with air conditioning.
It is
Focusing on one thing.
Yeah. So. I have a hard time doing that. What about you guys?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I usually got 4 or 5 vehicles, and I'm having to think about different stuff. But I understand you do have to, once you get on the one thing, focus on that one thing. But
So it helps completely if you can do that. I mean, really, there are times when I have had to zero in and maybe we've got a deadline for an ad or something like that.
Right.
Something that we're doing or a contract that's got to be done.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get distracted. The phone rings or somebody else needs something or whatever. But if you can block that off and say, I'm not going to leave this until I'm done, it's difficult.
Right.
To me, it's very difficult. But if you can do that, you are accomplishing something.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't have to waste time because you have to. If you ever stop doing something, it's like you have to go back and almost start all over
That's
to catch
right.
up with where you were.
Well, I have a hard time doing this because I have an open door in my office, and I'm right on the main hallway, so people stop by and they have different issues throughout the day. So I might be working on one thing and then something else pop up. So that's just the way my day. It's almost impossible to stay focused on one thing.
Right.
So if I do, I have to close the door, and I have a nice sign on the door that says, "I'm doing this, but you may come in." And
Yeah.
so I try to be nice about it, but
Try to be nice.
yeah.
I
So,
really want to focus on this and don't want to be bothered, but if you have to, just go ahead and come in.
yeah. So number 3, and I don't agree with this one right here. It says successful people do not use to-do list.
Yeah.
Now I disagree with this because I consider my wife to be super successful.
Yeah.
She's good at her game. She's
Yes.
the best that I know, as a matter of fact. And she always has a to-do list. In fact, we went to eat pizza Sunday, and anytime my wife is riding shotgun in the car, guess what she's doing? She's
Making her list.
She's making her list, and she's
Yeah.
filling out her calendar the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like, and she's months ahead.
Yeah,
you
Teresa
know.
is too. Teresa's exactly like that. She's very organized. She keeps a list and a calendar, and she's on task.
Yeah, and I am totally opposite. I mean, I don't write nothing down. In fact, somebody's going to have to remind me I've got to go to the funeral at 10 o'clock. So,
And that's a lot, go back to the memory deal. If a lot of times, if I don't write it down,
you don't remember it.
I will not remember it.
Yeah.
I will flat out forget it.
I'll tell you something
And
that's very
happened twice
close.
this week.
Very close kin to this. When you don't, people do set goals or this, that, and the other, or you have do you have a long-term to-do list, a dreams list, more or less?
We have a project list, is what we
Project
call
list,
it. Yeah.
dreams list, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you write all those things down, that you're more likely to actually do them?
Oh, you're talking about like maybe a bucket list.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you brought it up. What's on your bucket list, Jim?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about, I have written down a lot of things over the years. I'm talking about different points in time.
Yeah.
I did this, and I learned this from listening to Zig Ziglar, who was a big advocate of this kind of thing.
Right.
You'd make your dreams list, as he called it. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'd like to do this. I'd like to do that. And you know what? Some of them were just totally ridiculous when I wrote them down. But eventually, and sometimes I put them away, and then found them later, and figured out that I did that, and I did that, and I did that.
That's neat.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. So several of my bucket list items have gone away. So, I wanted to be on Price is Right while Bob Barker was on there.
Well,
you can't do that
It
anymore.
ain't going to happen.
That ain't going to happen. But my other bucket list thing
you
is...
You want to be on with Drew Carey?
When it first started, I didn't like Drew Carey on there. I'm a Drew Carey fan, but I didn't like him on Price is Right. He was too dull to me.
Well, I mean,
he's like, well, you want...
Look, he's taking Bob Barker's place. I mean, you got to...
Yeah, but somebody wins a car, you don't say, hey, you want a car. And that's just Drew Carey. That's the way he talks. Goodness, you got to be excited.
I wanted to be a radio talk show host.
Well, you're on your way.
I'm making it.
Oh my goodness. So, to-do list.
What was something else you wanted to do?
Go to Mackinac Island.
Where's Mackinac?
What's Mackinac Island?
You don't know what Mackinac Island is?
I've heard of it.
You need to look it up. It's an island in northern Michigan, and it's just an island that's set back in time. There's no vehicles on the island. It's all horse-drawn carriages or bicycles, and it's just like you step back in time. And
Oh, cool. That would be fun.
Yeah.
The Amish?
No, and it's they're only open, of course, during the summertime, spring, summer, and a little bit during the fall.
Yeah, because it's a little rough during the winter up there.
Yeah, it is. And they got a hotel up there. I think it's called the Grand Hotel, and it's got the largest front porch in America.
Really?
And you can sit on the front porch and watch the ships go through the Mackinac Strait. And so,
Well, that is pretty neat.
and if you're looking it up, it's spelled Mackinac, M-A-C-I-N-A-C-K.
Kind of like a mechanic.
Yeah, Mackinac.
Mechanic.
But you can say it to Siri, and she would know all about it. But
Well, there's a little village up in southern Kentucky where you can live and visit a Shaker community and live like those people for a little bit.
Yeah, but that's different because you go visit a Shaker community, you're out the next day hoeing potatoes or something. You go to Mackinac Island, you're in the hotel, sipping milkshakes.
Kind of
or
along the
whatever.
lines of the Amish amusement park that they're going to be building here.
I'm
huh?
talking about going down and watching the toffee being handmade and,
Okay.
that kind
Oh.
of stuff, homemade fudge and things like that.
You going for the food, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, would you like a Reese's Take 5?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not.
they lower, huh?
We're on a roll now. I'm proud of you guys.
I can't believe I actually lost weight this
That's
week.
I can't.
That's
All that
crazy.
walking.
It's all in your head, Jeff.
Oh my gosh.
So you knew you didn't fall off your plan. That's why. If you would have thought you were failed already, you'd just start eating again. So
Anyway.
Or if you cared if you failed.
yeah. All right. So here is the downfall. This is why I'm unsuccessful.
What's that?
They beat procrastination with time travel. Successful people beat procrastination with time travel. Oh me.
So we need a time machine.
You need to explain this
Okay,
one.
so here's how.
Because I've read this. I know what it's talking about. But
Here's what it says: your future self can't be trusted.
That's exactly
All
right.
So that's almost all that needs to be said, because how do you procrastinate? Every single time you procrastinate, in your head you say, okay, I will do that in a minute, or a scenario plays out in your head where you have all this free time and you have
Yeah.
the perfect scenario to do whatever you've procrastinated to do.
Right.
Well, guess what? Your future self
Yeah.
has lied to yourself. That's what it's saying.
That's exactly right.
So anyway, this is because we are time inconsistent, and I'm telling you, whoever wrote this knows me, and they're writing this because these are the things I don't do, and I am time inconsistent. Are you guys time inconsistent? I mean,
Inconsistent?
yeah, is that what it said?
I don't know what you said. You said
Inconsistent.
unconsistent.
Unconsistent. I didn't mean. Well, that's not a word.
What's unconsistent?
Look that up. That's the formal word. I noticed that most of your
Most
words a day.
It's a formal form.
Formal word of it. Okay, so since we're saying things, we don't always say the right things. We segue off on a lot of stuff.
Surely not.
So since we don't always say the right things, somebody last week heard me say that we had sweet potato fries at Quik Mart. And so one of the managers called me and said,
Yes.
"Are you saying that we've got sweet potato fries?" I'm like, "No." And I went back and listened to the whole cast, and I did not say sweet potato fries.
What did you say?
I didn't even say nothing that rhymed with sweet potato fries.
We had a message that said Taylor Swift is very successful.
Oh. I know who that is, and we have yanked his man card.
Well, don't keep us in suspense. Tell us.
That's Mr. Ben Warner of Etheridge, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He's a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Oh.
And Ben, I know.
Maybe we should start calling her Tater Swift.
Tater.
Tater Swift.
Hey, I heard Quik Mart had sweet tater Swifts.
No. Don't be
Tater
saying that. We do not have sweet potato fries.
I don't remember nothing about sweet potatoes.
Now, we do have sweet potato casserole. At the stores that serve a plate lunch,
yeah?
there is typically sweet potato casserole. And I don't know if it's every day, but some days we have it.
Yes, we have no bananas.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Speaking of that,
Yes.
I bought a whole pineapple for the diet.
Yeah.
And
Pineapples are great.
Man, I watched a YouTube video on how to cut that thing, and it's been good.
Been good.
So I bought another.
Somebody wants to talk to us.
Yeah.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are y'all this morning?
Hey, there's my man right
Doing
there.
good.
Hey, I go to the gate station, Shell station right across West Point Road every morning.
Yes.
2 sausage, egg, and biscuits. Your manager, Miss Elizabeth, she's awesome, and them girls in there, they're awesome. They see me coming, they get them biscuits ready for me and my puppies every morning.
All right.
Ain't that
Attaboy.
awesome?
Great.
Some of these places ain't as friendly, but I'm going to tell you that right there is number one in my place.
I like it.
I
Great.
get 5 or 6 mornings a week.
If they're not listening, I'll let them know when I go in there.
You need to take care of them girls now because they take care of her customers.
I will.
Thank you, Randy. See you,
Thank
buddy.
you. Have a great day.
That's pretty good.
That is awesome.
He ain't going to help me lose weight with them 2 sausages. Anyway.
Listen, the earlier you eat them, the better it is.
He feeds one of them to his puppies, though.
That's what I heard.
Listen, my dad did that. He would he would always get a biscuit for himself and one for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, Aunt Joel was like that. She had no time how many dogs. She'd pull up there to the.
You got to get to number
drive-thru.
5.
I got to get to number
sorry.
5.
Yeah.
All right. So since we segued off on animals, let me get to this because I got to say it.
All right, do
because
it.
it's on my mind. So I don't know if you guys have cats. I got a cat. You guys got a cat. Do you feed the cat? I mean, so I don't know if you've noticed, but just with the inflation of things, dog food and cat food have gone through the roof. So cat food is typically about $1 per serving. If you go to the store and buy it, you buy that. I buy the pate. My cat likes the pate, and so it's about $1 or maybe a little bit more than $1 a serving. Now, what you can do, though, is I went back and bought 4 cans of solid white albacore tuna. And 4 big cans of it is $7.99. But 1 can will make 3 feedings of the cat. So you can feed your cat 12 times for $8 with the solid white albacore tuna. And what's nice about that is that I can eat it too.
Did you try the pate?
I did not try the pate.
You
but-
try it on a cracker.
Do y'all eat side by side right there in the same bowl?
No, but I will. When I'm dipping her some out, I will put me some on a plate for crackers. Yeah,
I want to watch you eat with your cat.
Oh, me.
I kind of want to see you eat with your cat there. So.
she wakes me up every morning.
Oh, my
She'll
gosh.
tap on me. Like she's
We have
hungry.
outdoor cats, 2 of them.
All
And
right.
I kick them out of the. Anyway.
Number 5. You wanted to get to number 5, right? Yeah, I got to
Kick him like a football.
I got to segue out of that. But you said you do it when you get home in the evening, right?
Oh, when he gets home
Those-
in time for dinner.
Those cats see
Yeah.
me coming. They go, here he comes.
Oh,
you
scatter.
Send the new guy out. So number 5,
Right,
the number
meow.
5 thing that successful people do is they make it home for dinner. I am horrible at that.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm absolutely horrible at that.
Except on Thursdays.
I have gotten better at that.
Okay.
And I'll have to say it's a good thing.
Yeah, I would too. I love it.
I've gotten better at that. I used to be horrible at that. Used to almost never make it home for dinner. And sometimes I still don't. Sometimes it's necessary to not. But if I can, I try to get home in time for us to have some kind of dinner together. And it may be we jump in the car and go. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. But that's a good thing.
Yeah, we seem to have pizza a lot
Yeah.
for dinner because my wife works way harder than I do.
Right now, right now I'm starving for dinner.
Me too.
Yeah.
And so, I don't expect my wife to come home and cook a big dinner or anything like that. And so
Well, maybe you need to get home cooked dinner.
that's probably a great idea. But
Get
we
some
have
recipes
pizza.
from the Quik Mart. And
Yeah.
After this trip we just had, Teresa's like, I've got to have a home cooked meal. Because after you be on the trip and you're eating
I
out,
like her thinking.
she's like, I've got to have a home cooked. So she did, and we had a big old pot roast and pinto beans and the whole shooting match. Golly, that was good. And I still lost weight. How about that? But I didn't eat the cornbread.
there you go.
Oh, was you thinking about it though?
Oh, the whole time I'm thinking about it.
Golly.
This is
Oh man, it sure was good.
the whole time.
All right, so the next one is, and this one came from Mark Cuban. Number 6 is successful people use a notebook.
Well, today,
Look at that.
Look, I got a notebook.
And that's why
I
I'm
need-
saying, Kevin, you're probably the most successful person I know, because you have already met 3 of the 4 or 3 of the 6 that we've done.
Well,
here.
and I do make it home for supper. So
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
And does your wife cook every night?
between my wife and my mother-in-law, yeah,
I know all about your mother-in-law's cooking.
I'm telling you, and that's why I'm 240 something pounds.
That's okay. If you have to die from being overweight, be happy.
52 pounds.
Actually, Richard Bronson said he kept a notebook, not Mark Cuban.
Oh,
So Richard Bronson.
I
is,
have
uh,
done
think it's
that
Richard
often.
Branson.
I've done that off and on, and it is good if you can.
So do you have a notebook for individual things like, when you went to school, did you have a math notebook and an English notebook and then?
yeah.
I
Or
think
I had a trapper keeper, and he had a different section.
Oh, so you were really organized.
No, I just want a trapper keeper because it had like Kiss or whatever on the front of it.
Well,
I made it all the way through school without a notebook, pen, pencil, paper, or a book.
And look how educated he is.
and you're doing just fine.
He's one of the most successful people in here.
I am an audible learner, sure enough, and I didn't write nothing down.
Did you ever carry your books to school in a cereal box?
Ooh,
Take the
cereal
top off
box.
the cereal box and
What?
yeah, and slide your books in there
No, I
and
never
carry
did
your cereal
that.
box.
Why would you do that?
So you wouldn't have to hang on but one thing instead of hanging on all of them.
How could you get all your books in a cereal box?
Well, I mean, back in school, but I didn't have no big thick
Of
books.
course, we had lockers.
We had lockers too. I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
They don't have lockers no more.
No, they don't have lockers anymore, and then backpacks are heavy because they carry
Yes.
computers now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So kids are going to have back problems. And they're
like
gonna
I
blame it
said,
on
I pretty
school.
much avoided having any books or paper or pencils or nothing.
I remember.
So what'd you do when you had a test? Borrowed a pencil?
Yeah.
Our books are always used. I don't remember very few times I got a new book in school. In my geometry book, somebody already broke the back on it, and so you could fold it and put it in your back pocket, and you fold it up in a roll and stick it in your back. And,
What kind of geometrical shape was that?
I loved geometry because Betty Price taught it. And,
I like geometry, all right.
Man, she was the
I
best.
did not.
She was the best geometry teacher.
Geometry made sense to me.
Okay, so here's something that I have an issue with.
What's that?
Successful people process emails only a few times a day. How many times a day you look at your email, Jeff?
I do that. I do my emails early morning, and I might look at them again in the evening.
Really? So it don't come up on your phone or anything,
It
or,
does,
or on your
and it
wrist
does,
or
and
anything?
I might check them, but if I do it quick. If it's just something I have to address.
Kevin, do you check
Oh,
your
I
email?
check mine 5 or 6 times a day.
Do you?
Yeah. 90% of mine is spam or whatever.
Me too.
The
Or
only
things
time
I've
I check
signed
it
up
during the
for.
day if I get notice that somebody's sending me a document and I need to address it right then.
But see, now mine don't notify me on my phone. I have to
Well,
go
I'm
in.
talking about somebody may
Yeah,
text
right,
me,
yeah.
"Hey, I'm
Oh,
sending you a
okay.
document. I need you to sign it." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. But I get mostly is ads from things where I've bought before and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought some Florsham shoes one time, and I get all these. Oh, you got a deal from Florsham? Guess what? I go and look it up. I'm like, That's no deal. It's the same thing it was a month ago. So you got to be careful on those things.
I've decided that we need 2 hours for a show.
Yeah, we do. Is it already that late?
Can you believe it? I mean, we got 5 minutes.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can't believe it. So one more thing, and I would love to do this. Successful people avoid meetings at all costs. And this was Mark Cuban, and listen what Mark says. When Kevin asked Mark Cuban to give his best productivity advice, he quickly responded, "Never take meetings unless somebody's writing you a check." And that's
Ooh,
great
yeah,
advice.
yeah.
Never go to a meeting.
Yeah.
In fact, I may make that my new standard.
Yeah.
So don't
The
invite me
next
to a
one's
meeting
good
that you're
too.
writing me
The
a check.
next one's good too.
What is that?
They say no to almost everything.
See, and I have a problem with that.
They say no to almost everything.
Yeah.
I'm practicing that with my kids now.
Are you?
Are you?
Yeah.
Like
They're
what?
working out. They love
First
it.
answer is always no.
Well, they go ask mom.
Yeah, but she really first answer is always no.
Yeah. So my kids have figured that out.
Yeah, I'm a whole lot easier than mom is.
My kids
Moms
already
know every time, even to me.
So my kids have figured out and don't even go to mom.
Yeah, don't go to mom.
Oh man.
So you don't do the old, go ask your mom. You don't
I do.
That's what I do. Go
No,
ask your
but
mom. What you
it
told me to
depends.
ask you?
And then you get the, why do you always make me the bad guy? You be the bad guy.
Well, usually on things like that, when you have a teenager in the house, you end up with a house load of kids all weekend long. And so I'm like, go ask your mom. So I got some great guys that Spencer's buddies with a bunch of his buddies, and they come over all the time. And they've been over, and I want them to feel at home. But, when I'm in the living room, don't throw the honeycomb box in my lap and say, hey, you're out of honeycombs.
I can see where you'd have a problem with that.
Oh, me, I thought that's pretty cool, though. I mean,
Hey, you're out of honeycomb.
other people's kids drinking milk straight out of the jug, just, hey, all right, guys, it's all right. So anyway, we've only got a couple minutes, and we need to talk about Quik Mart convenience stores. We may pick this list up because there are some things, if we want to be successful, we may start, we want to be, lose some weight. We want to be successful.
If we're going to be successful, we better hurry up.
Yeah, we better hurry up because it's 5:02. No, that's the date.
We got a little over 2 minutes on
2
my
minutes.
clock.
Okay. So anyway, if you hadn't been to Quik Mart in a long time, make it a point to get out and ride around. Here's what you should do. See how many Quik Mart stores you can visit this year. There's 39, and by the end of the year, there will be 40. And so see how many Quik Mart stores that you can visit. And,
You should do a T-shirt, Quik Mart World Tour.
oh, yeah. Quik Mart World Tour. Ask me where this Quik Mart is.
Yeah.
Where's Quik Mart number 8?
And you could put all the locations on the back.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
have it sort of like a map.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Didn't Bruce
If you-
Springsteen do that one time?
If you do one of those shirts, I gave you the idea, so we need to have some. We can do some giveaways.
Well, I hope that we hadn't bored our audience to death today, but and we didn't give anything away. How much time do we have?
We got time to do it.
Number one caller.
Number one caller,
call in. If you hadn't won in a long time, call in. We're going to give you
If you
away.
haven't won, if you haven't won something,
Yeah.
we need a new caller. Somebody that hasn't won anything.
I got a $25 gift card right here. Here's a
$25
caller.
gift card to somebody. Let's see who this
People
is.
are still listening.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, Jeff.
Hey, Randy, you're right on top of it. aren't
Hey,
you?
how about that?
I'd be when I'm out from the house. That doggone straight talk box down there and all them leaves.
Yeah.
Don't go slow after I can't get on Bible Trivia no more.
Oh. well, Randy, do you
We
want?
got him down.
Are we going to put him down for a gift card?
Yeah.
All right, Randy Weeks.
Last I got was in December, so.
All right, yeah, you got one in December. He said.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right, you want to do another one?
I don't have another one.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thanks, buddy. Randy will have it up front for you.
Thank you, front.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good one.
We'll
All right,
do
see-
another one next week.
Yeah, we'll do another one next time.
And we need to get some new players in here, somebody too.
I've only
we have
got-
one. Let's see.
Yes.
So Randy Weeks has got
Yeah.
that $25 gift card, and that'll help him feed his puppies.
Has he got a puppy farm?
No, well, he's got a dog that goes with him everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the one that gets the Quik Mart biscuits for him and his dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so there you go.
Way to go.
That'll help him right there. Good deal. Well, this has been the Quik Mart Hour. Keith Durham, Kevin Smith,
Yes.
Keith and Kevin, Ren and Stimpy, Laurel and Hardy, whatever you want to call them.
We may play a game next week.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. We may drag out one from the old chest.
What?
From the old chest.
Oh,
I had some password questions today that we could have played.
password.
Yeah, you remember that old game?
The old game. The word is so-and-so.
Yes, but I don't know how to make you guys plug your ears
Yeah, I don't
because I got to tell the audience the password is penguin, and then you guys would have to guess
have
and
to
want to
guess the
guess.
I don't know how that would work for us. We'll have to figure that
Yeah.
out.
well,
So
We'll
I
come
got
up
to
with
find a way to
another.
plug your ears up.
Anyway.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day. Come see us at Quik Mart, and thank you for having us here.
Hey, we'll see you next week, boys.
Woo-hoo!
For all intents and purposes, it's over now, but this place is a total mess.
A UCLA student, Eliana Julkowski, tells Fox.
What is happening on my campus is absolute insanity and chaos.